KTU EET 205 Analog Electronics എൻ്റെ ഫസ്റ്റ് മോഡ്യൂളും ഫസ്റ്റ് ആൻഡ് സെക്കൻഡ് മോഡ്യൂളാണ് ഈ ഒരു ഇതിൽ തീർക്കുന്നത്. അനാലിസിസ് ഓഫ് BJT ആൻഡ് FET ആംപ്ലിഫയേഴ്സ് ആണ് ഫസ്റ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് BJT, there are two types of BJT transistors, NPN and PN. അത് നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളതാണ് പ്ലസ് ടുവിലൊക്കെ. സ്കീമാറ്റിക് സിമ്പിൾസ് ഒക്കെ അറിയാവുന്നതാണ്. ട്രാൻസിസ്റ്റർ കോൺഫിഗറേഷൻ ആൻഡ് മോഡ് ഓഫ് ഓപ്പറേഷൻസ്, കോമൺ ബേസ് ബയാസിംഗ്, കോമൺ എമിറ്റർ ബയാസിംഗ്, കോമൺ കളക്ടർ ബയാസിംഗ്, CB, CE, CC. അങ്ങനെയാണ് മൂന്ന് കാര്യങ്ങൾ. രണ്ട് ബേസ് എമിറ്റർ ജംഗ്ഷനും കളക്ടർ എമിറ്റർ ജംഗ്ഷനും ഉണ്ട്. അതിൽ ബേസ് എമിറ്ററിന് ഫോർവേഡ് ബയാസ്ഡ് ആണെങ്കിൽ, കളക്ടർ എമിറ്ററിന് റിവേഴ്സ് ബയാസ്ഡ് ആണെങ്കിൽ റീജിയൻ ആക്റ്റീവ് ആണ്. ഫോർവേഡ് ബയസ്ഡ് ആണെങ്കിൽ സാച്ചുറേഷൻ, റിവേഴ്സ് ബയാസ് ആണെങ്കിൽ കട്ട് ഓഫ്, റിവേഴ്സ് ബയാസ് ഫോർവേഡ് ബയാസ് ആണെങ്കിൽ ഇൻവേർട്ടഡ്. കറണ്ട് റിലേഷൻഷിപ്പ് ഇൻ BJT, that is IE is equal to IB plus IC. Common base current gain alpha is equal to IC by IE. Common emitter current gain beta is equal to IC by IB. The relationship between the two parameters beta and alpha are: beta is equal to alpha by 1 minus alpha and alpha is equal to beta by 1 plus beta. IC is equal to beta IB plus beta plus 1 into ICBO, where ICBO is the reverse leakage current. Transistor characteristics. This is the circuit arrangement for the input-output characteristics curve in CE configuration. Here we can see supply current, common collector supply voltage 0 to 30 volt, collector resistance, base resistance, ammeter, voltmeter, 2 ammeters and 2 voltmeters, and 1 transistors. Then transistor characteristics. There is two diagrams, input characteristics and output characteristics. We can see the active region, cutoff region, and saturation regions here. IC versus VCE and IB versus VBE input characteristics. VC is equal to 0 volt, VC equal to 2 volt, VC equal to 4 volt. Then common emitter amplifier. This is the common emitter amplifier circuit diagram and for finding Q point. There are 4 resistance: R1, R2, RC and RE. RC is the collector resistance, RE is the emitter resistance, VCC is the supply collector, and we can see the capacitor CC1. The DC equivalent circuit of the CE amplifier is that replacing all the capacitor by open circuiting and replacing all the inductors by short circuiting, replacing the AC voltage source by short circuit or ground connection, and replacing AC current source by open circuit. AC equivalent circuit of CE amplifier is that replacing all capacitors by short circuits and replacing all inductors by open circuits, DC voltage source by ground connection, and DC current source by open circuit. Then we get the AC equivalent circuit like this. What is load line? It is a very important question. It is the line along which the Q point shift up and down when changes in the output voltage and current of an amplifier are caused by an AC signal. AC load line takes into account the AC load resistance, whereas DC load line considers only the DC load resistance. AC load line is steeper than DC load line, but the two intersect at the Q point determined by biasing DC voltage and current. DC load line. Here in this diagram we can see VCE is equal to VCC. Saturation point IC is equal to VCC by RL. It is represented by the straight line AQB. In AC and the AC load line, the cutoff point is VCE. Cutoff is equal to VCEQ plus ICQ RAC. Saturation point is given by IC saturation is equal to ICQ plus VCEQ by RAC, and RAC is the AC load resistance. Here we can see a problem. Draw the DC and AC load line for the CE circuit. For finding DC load line, first we have to know what is VCE. VCE cut is equal to VCC. Here VCC is equal to 20 volt, point A. And IC current, collector current is equal to VCC by R1 plus RE, that is 20 divided by 5 is equal to 4 milliampere, point B. Hence, AQB represents the DC load line for the given circuit. Approximate bias condition can be quickly found by assuming that IV is too small to affect the base biasing. And then V2 is equal to this voltage divider rule, 20 into 4 divided by 4 plus 16 is equal to 4 volt. If we neglected VBE, then V2 is equal to VE. IE is equal to VE by RE is equal to V2 by RE. It's equal to 4 by 2 equal to milliampere. IC is approximately IE and that is equal to 2 milliampere. ICQ equal to 2 milliampere. The corresponding value of VCQ can be found by drawing dotted line. AC load line. VCE cutoff is equal to VCEQ plus ICQ RAC. Now for the given circuit, AC load resistance is RAC equal to RC is equal to 3K. Cutoff point is 10 plus 2 into 3 equals 16 volt. Saturation point IC saturation is equal to ICQ plus VCEQ plus by RAC equal to 5.13 milliampere. Hence the line joins 60 volt point and 5.13 milliampere point gives AC load line as shown in this figure. DC load line and AC load line. What is operating point? Operating point, the zero signal values of IC and VCE is known as operating point. That is also called a quiescent point. The variation of IC and VCE takes place about this point. The factors affecting the stability of operating point are first the temperature dependence of collector current. IC is equal to beta IB plus beta plus 1 into ICBO. ICBO is the leakage current as we heard recently. Individual variations. Beta is different for different transistors. Thermal runway. IC is equal to that same formula. Biasing circuit. That what is the need of biasing circuit? For establishing the operating point in the middle of the active region, stabilize the collector current against temperature variation, make the operating point independent of transistor parameters. Various biasing circuits used for BJT are fixed bias circuit, collector to base bias circuit, voltage divider bias circuit. Voltage divider bias circuit is very important. Okay, fixed bias circuit. Fixed bias circuit, in this we need RB, RC and VCC supply and a one transistor. Operating point in VCE, IC. From input loop we can say IB is equal to VCC minus VBE by RB. VBE is equal to 0.7 volt. IC is equal to beta by IB. From output loop, VC equal to VCC minus ICRC. Beta is the DC current gain. Collector to base bias circuit. From the input loop, VCC is equal to IC plus IB into RC plus IB RB plus VBE. From that we can say IB is equal to VCC minus VBE divided by beta plus 1 into RC plus RB. So ICQ is equal to beta IB. From output loop we can get VCEQ equal to VCC minus beta plus 1 into IB RC. So we can say that if beta increases, IC increases, VCE decreases, IB decreases, IC does not increase much. Good stability. That is collector to base bias circuit. Then is the important voltage divider bias circuit. There are R1, R2, RC and RE. From the input loop, ignoring base current, VB equal to VCC by R1 plus R2 into R2. That is a voltage divider rule. VE is equal to VB minus VBE. IE is equal to VE by RE. ICQ is equal approximately IU. From IE, from output loop, VCQ equal to VCC minus ICQ into RC plus RE. Bias circuit comparison. For base bias, Q point values, IC approximately IE, collector current, IC equal to beta into VCC minus VBE by RB. Collector to emitter voltage VC equal to VCC minus ICRC. For emitter bias, Q point is IC approximately IE. Collector current IC equal to VE minus VBE by RE plus RB by beta. Collector to emitter voltage VC equal to VCC minus VCE by minus IC into RC plus RE. Voltage divider bias and collector feedback bias. In collector voltage, Q point values and Q point value is IC approximately IE in both of them. Collector current is R2 by R1 plus R2 into VCC minus VB by RE in voltage divider, and in collector feedback VCC minus VB by RC plus RB by beta. VC is in voltage divider VCC minus IC by RC plus RE. In collector feedback VC equal to VCC minus ICRC. Then what is stability factor? This is the value used to represent the stability of a biasing circuit. The low value indicates the high stability. It is defined as the rate of change of collector current with respect to ICBO, keeping beta and VBE a constant. S is equal to DIC by DICBO, where beta VBE constant. IC is equal to beta IB plus beta plus 1 into ICBO. So DIC by DICBO is equal to S is equal to stability factor S is equal to beta plus 1 divided by 1 minus beta DIB by DIC. That is the formula of stability factor. In the voltage divider bias circuit, the stability factor VB equal to VThevenin equal VCC R2 by R1 plus R2. RThevenin is R1 plus R1 parallel to R2. So from input loop, VThevenin equal to IB RThevenin plus VBE plus IC R into RE. Differentiating the above equation, we get DIB by DIC equal to minus RE by RThevenin plus RE. So we know the stability factor. Substituting it, we get S is equal to beta plus 1 by 1 plus beta into RE by RThevenin plus RE. For stability, S should be small, which can be achieved by making RThevenin by RE small. For a very small RThevenin by RE, S is equal to 1. That is an ideal case. Bias compensation. Biasing circuit seen so far provides stability of operating point for any change in the ICO, VBE or IB, beta. The collector base bias and emitter base circuit provide negative feedback and make the circuit stable, but the gain falls down. In such cases, it is necessary to use compensation techniques. There are many compensation techniques used, which include diode compensation technique, thermistor compensation technique. In diode compensation technique, diode is kept forward biased by the voltage VDD and resistor RD. The diode is made of same material as the transistor and type as transistor. Voltage across diode has the same temperature coefficient as VBE. Since VBE and VD are same, VBE minus VD remains unchanged. IC becomes insensitive to variation in VBE. Thermistor compensation technique. Thermistor has a NTC, that is negative temperature coefficient. With increase in temperature, resistance of thermistor decreases. Current supplied to RE through RT increases, which in turn increases the negative feedback and reduces IB. Reduction in IB reduces the IC, thus IC becomes insensitive to temperature variation. H-parameter model of BJT. Transistor can be considered as a two-port network. Four variables are related in terms of H parameters as V1 is equal to H11 I1 plus H12 V2 and I2 equal H21 I1 plus H22 V2. Input impedance is equal to, we know all that when V2 equal to 0 watt and I1 is equal to 0. We get input impedance, forward current gain, reverse voltage gain, output impedance. Hybrid equivalence circuit of BJT is there here. We get V1 equal to HIX I1 plus HRX V2 and I2 equal to HFX I1 plus HOX V2. Analysis of transistor amplifier using hybrid parameter. What is current gain? AI here IL by I1, that is equal to minus I2 by I1. I2 is equal to HF I1 plus H output V2. V2 is equal to minus I2 RL. So I2 is equal to HF I1 plus HO by, into minus I2 RL. So I2 by I1 equal to HF by 1 plus HO RL. So current gain is equal to minus I2 by I1 equal minus HF by 1 plus H0 RL. And input resistance or impedance Ri by Zi, that is Ri is equal to V1 by I1. V1 is equal to HI1 plus HR V2. V2 is equal to minus I2 RL. V1 is equal to HI1 plus HR into minus I2 RL. Here at last we get Ri equal to HI minus HR HF by HO plus 1 by RL. Voltage gain AV, that is equal to V2 by V1 equal to minus I2 RL by V1, dividing the numerator and denominator by I1, we get AI RL divided by Ri. So Ri is equal to HI plus HRI AI RL. AV is equal to minus HF by Ri into HO plus 1 by RL. Output resistance or impedance RO by ZO. To calculate the output, replace source voltage to 0 and RL to infinity and drive the output by voltage V2. RO equal to V2 by I2. I2 is equal to HF I1 plus HO V2. RO equal to V2 by HF I1 plus HO V2. Applying KVL to input side, I1 into RS plus HI equal to minus HR V2. I1 is equal to minus HR V2 by RS plus HI. RO is equal to V2 by RO is equal to 1 by HO minus HF by HF HR by HI. That is output resistance. Limitations of H parameters. The H parameter approach provide accurate information regarding the current gain, voltage gain, input impedance and output impedance of a transistor amplifier. However, there are two major limitations. It is very difficult to get the exact value of H parameter for a particular transistor. It is because these parameters are subject to considerable variations unit to unit variation due to change in temperature and variation due to change in the operating point. In predicting an amplifier performance, care must be taken to use H parameter values that are correct for the operating point being considered. The H parameter approach gives correct answer for small AC signals only. It is because a transistor behaves as a linear device for small signals only. So I am winding up here. Next FET will be covered in next video.